Today, we're going to talk about digital distraction. One of the biggest things that I think is hurting families today is our phones. We have our phones, and there's endless amounts of data and games and news feeds and scrolling social media, all kinds of things we can access from our phone. And it's so addicting that a lot of times we're neglecting the little things. Now, I'm as guilty as anyone. Not too long ago, my son came in and I was on my phone and I was looking through it and he said something, and my wife had to call me out and be like, "Hey, you're not even listening to your son." Let's talk about phones for a second. A lot of these big corporations, they don't have any actual physical product. They don't have an actual product that they're selling. So I'm going to use Facebook as an example. Facebook doesn't manufacture anything that I know of. They don't produce any physical goods. Basically, what they do is they have a database. They've found a way to connect a lot of people. And somewhere in that database, you give them permission when you sign up or at another time, perhaps, to have all of your information stored and recorded if you allow them to. And so they're taking your attention, your time, in other words, your God-given life, and they're analyzing what you spend your time on, and they're selling it to companies who want to sell advertising. So the real product is you. The more they can get you addicted to being on your phone, the more they can go to big corporations or other people and say, "We know all the data on this person, and we can sell ads to them." And because they have so many people, they can make billions and billions of dollars selling what? Your attention. So I'm going to tell you this. This is going to be hard for you to break, but there are literally scientists who are working on trying to get you more addicted to your digital devices. Very, very smart people who are being paid a lot of money, who are trying to figure out how to get you to be on your phone more, scrolling more, looking at social media more, playing more games, because all of that data can be sold to sell ads to you and others. And if you can look at it this way, it's a little bit discouraging to know that they're really trying, like literally trying. If you spend 2 hours on your phone versus 6 hours on your phone, they have now more. They can say, "Well, I've got this attention for 6 hours," and there's more ability to sell ads. So the more they can get the entire world addicted to devices, the more money they can make. So I'm going to tell you right now, you've got smart people trying to keep you on your digital device. Now, are digital devices bad? The answer is no. In fact, I read a book and it was, I think it was called The TechWise Family. By the way, you should look up The TechWise Family. Great book. And he was saying something like this. The TechWise Family is somebody who says we can use technology if it connects us. If we're watching something together, or we're connecting over Zoom, or we're doing something that connects us, that could be a good thing. But if, on the other hand, we're all sitting in the same room, all on our devices, not talking and being isolated, maybe that's not the result that we really want. So I'm asking you to think really long and hard. And this is something that I need to do too. How can I break the addiction to electronic devices? And I got to tell you, it may be a little more difficult than you think. Now, there's another book called Atomic Habits. And Atomic Habits says, we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. And so setting up a system, you can read that book as well. It's a good book. Setting up systems that will actually help us be more present for our spouses, for our children. And that may involve getting a phone that doesn't have access to the internet, or some kind of parental control you can put on yourself so you can't access certain things. Or maybe you make sure your phone is outside of the room and turned off and unavailable at certain times. And it may be when you start doing this, it's a little bit hard because you're kind of used to having your phone with you all the time. But think about this. If your little tiny choices are really your big choices. And so if you spend just a few minutes a day or even an hour a day on something, and you look at how much that is over the course of your life, it can be years. 30 minutes a day over the course of lifetime is a matter of years. And so you literally could be losing years with those you love because you're choosing to spend it with a digital device that's now isolating you from them. So I think it's going to get harder and harder. I mean, you hear about things that are coming down the road where there's going to be virtual reality. We're going to be able to be in a whole different metaverse, whole different world. And I think the ability to set boundaries with technology so that you can be present for those you love is super, super, super important. How can we set boundaries with technology and teach our kids the importance of technology, proper technology use, and not getting addicted to technology? Something we can talk about. I think it's a good idea to not have your device in your room at night. Now, I've been guilty of having my device in my room at night, and people say, well, it's my alarm clock. Well, go get a different alarm clock. Spend $10 at the store and get a different alarm clock and put your device somewhere else. Maybe when you come home from work or you have time with your children, get the device turned off. The people who are calling you, the Instagram feeds, the social media or the texting or whatever it is that's coming in, that can wait. Be present with the people you're there. I'll tell you, distraction is one of the biggest things that I think is hurting families. When everybody comes into the room, but nobody's talking because they're all in their own little world instead of being able to interact. Let's find a way. One of the best resources I think we could look at right now is the Tech Wise Family. It's a book. It's an orange book, the Tech Wise Family. Great, great resource. But think about how you can protect you and your loved ones from overuse and technology addiction and distraction. I am so jealous of my wife because she gets the ultimate career. She gets to train and nurture and love our children more than I get to because I have to be doing things like this podcast. Parenting is the ultimate career. If you like what you heard today, please like, subscribe, comment, leave a review. Thank you for listening. You can also check out my book, What I Want My Children to Know Before I Die. It's available on Amazon and other bookstores. Thanks again for listening.